What's up guys, welcome to Film and TV Reviews. Today I'm reviewing the film Searching, starring John Cho, about a father trying to find his daughter. We don't really know what's happened to her. Has she been kidnapped? Has she been murdered? Something else? We don't know. That's what the whole film's all about. So, as you might have guessed, this is a thriller, it's a mystery, a lot of surprises, a lot of suspense, full of twists, surprises and revelations. It keeps you on your feet, on your toes, on the edge of your seat. Gotta praise the direction because they do a good job of building up the suspense and the tension. It leaves questions and clues, making you want to know what's going to happen next. And the ending is pretty satisfying. I didn't see it coming. Talking about the characters now, John Cho is the leading actor in this, and this is probably one of his best performances to date. He's really quite good in it. The other characters are a little one-note and stereotypical, not much to say about it. All the attention is primarily on John Cho. Because of the style of this film, because it is told from the viewpoint of computer screens and displays, you can't always explore some of the characters in detail. So John Cho's character really is the only one that gets a fully fleshed out character in this. You do get little bits here and there on some of us, but they're mostly just stereotypes. One of the things I liked about the characters is that it's an interesting and pretty believable look at mental health and death and how that affects a person. It really does a good job of approaching those topics. In terms of production, this is where the film really shines. I don't think I've seen a film quite like this before. I want to say this is kind of the evolution of the found footage genre, because I've mentioned it earlier. This film is told entirely from the viewpoint of a computer screen, from phone screens like FaceTime, stuff like that. So you only ever see what the main character is doing and how he's interacting with the computer. You do see like some news footage and film reels and where he's going on YouTube and so on. So that does allow you to explore more things in interesting ways. But it's really impressive, really well done. I like how the director knows what you've got to focus on. So obviously a full computer display can be a bit jarring and you don't really know where to look, especially in a film. So what he does is he zooms in, he focuses on this key element, this key word, so you know exactly what the point is here. Really well done. It's very innovative and very interesting, and it's more than a gimmick or a quirk. I think it really does add something to the film, and I wonder what's next for this director. I wonder what's next for this genre, if it's even a genre. Is it found footage film? I don't know. I don't really know how to classify it, to be honest. One of the things that this does allow is it allows to limit the budget, because I believe most of this was done in Photoshop and in the edit, and very little of it was actually filmed. So you can disguise all the budget restrictions. You can potentially just use a few sets and a couple of locations, and it does a really good job at maintaining a low budget but still making it look and feel fresh and new and something of value. One of my little concerns about all this is that John Cho's character is meant to be a middle-aged, average Joe dad, and most of the middle-aged, average Joe dads that I know don't have a clue how to work a computer, barely know how to use a phone, and yet John Cho seems to be using the phone and a computer for absolutely everything, and I mean everything. Wherever he's going, for some reason he's taking pictures or filming it. So for example, he's got loads of footage of his wife just cooking, he's got loads of footage of the recipes that she's using. No explanation as to why he's done this, no explanation as to how he's so tech savvy. It doesn't quite make sense, but you do see him at his job at some point, and even then he's communicating via webcam. It doesn't really say what his job is, I don't believe. Maybe I've missed that a bit. But yeah, a little odd, I think, how so much of his life seems to revolve around filming and being on a computer. So that's what I'm going to say about Searching so far. I am going to go into spoilers now, but don't worry, if you haven't seen the film, you can pause this, come back later on and watch the rest of what I've got to say. But if you're going to stop watching now because of the spoilers, I'm Graham Burton. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheInSoGrahamBurton, or you can subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment and feedback down below. Let me know what you think of Searching. Right, full spoilers now. You've been warned. So, at the end of the film, it's revealed that his daughter is alive. There were far too many twists and turns throughout the film to suggest otherwise, so I did predict that she was alive quite early on, because it would have just been a little anticlimactic had she been dead and had it turned into a just who did it kind of thing. That being said, I didn't realise who was behind what was going on until pretty late on, until it was actually revealed. So I had my suspicions, but yeah, they disguised that pretty well, although the person I was watching it with apparently knew right from the get-go who was behind it. So maybe that says more about me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot. One of the things I liked about it is that when the daughter goes missing, it goes to footage from all of her school friends. I say friends with quotation marks because it turns out she doesn't have any friends. She's a bit of a loner and nobody really likes her or finds anything interesting about her. So when it goes to all this footage, they're all like, oh, I miss her, she's like my best friend. I think that's a very realistic view on what would actually happen in a certain situation like this. Most people would just act up to the camera and want to look better than what they actually are. And yeah, they just want the attention. So I think that was a nice little touch. Speaking of nice touch, the happy ending, the fact that she is alive at the end, that she does turn out alright and everything's all well and done, and she was just basically conned in a way. That was nice. One thing I didn't like about the film was the brother. John Cho's character's brother. I didn't feel like the storyline involving him and his relationship with the daughter was all that believable. Why would the daughter go to him for weed and then the brother not at all mention this to John Cho's character? Why wouldn't he just tell John all that to get it out of the way and to like reassure him? Yeah, maybe it's a dysfunctional family, maybe they're not as close as they give the impression of, but I don't know, it just felt odd to me. But that's Searching. I do think it's a good film, I do recommend it. I had a lot of fun watching it. It's only about an hour and a half, so it won't take up too much time. So go watch it, and thanks for watching this review.